So, everyone say hi, YouTube. Let's review this video and see, it's 3 years old, and see if it's changed at all, if it's been fixed. What War Thunder gets wrong, let's see if they've fixed it.
I'm known for two main things: making videos about how War Thunder can be improved, and making videos about historical inaccuracies. Contrary to popular belief, I do not think that realism equals better. A game obviously has to be fun before it's realistic, unless you're playing a hardcore simulator, I guess. However, I think Gaijin can make some changes that be both realistic and improve the gameplay overall. It's just that usually, they're too minor to have their own video, so I'm combining them into one. Without further ado, let's get into it. First up, if you play the Striker, Merkavas, Type 89, or other vehicles with frontally mounted engines and thermals, this is likely a common annoyance for you.
This has been fixed. This has been fixed. This is not a thing anymore. If you guys remember, back in the day, the thermals, when you had the exhaust in front of your engine, like on the side, it will show up like this, and you couldn't see shit.
Engine blocks your thermal sight, making you effectively blind along a decent...
This has been fixed, too. I think if it hasn't been fixed, I'm gonna look stupid. Where's my Striker? Am I blind? Oh, I have it on the texture. Cool, G.
Crew positions! Ready up! Driver
Like right here. You see that? Engine smoke? That should be blocking my sight right now. But it doesn't, because they fixed it.
Portion of your frontal arc. This seems somewhat plausible, right? FLIR picks up thermal radiation, so hot stuff will obviously interfere. There is a slight
It's not realism though. I don't think that happens in real life.
problem with that though. Air is a terrible thermal conductor. Speaking realistically, your engine will have a bright glow to it, but there won't be a giant column of hot smoke that telegraphs your position, and it won't mess with the thermal sight either. I've been able to confirm this with tankers. By Gaijin's own logic, it doesn't really make sense. ESS can be seen through perfectly, but exhaust can't. Removing exhaust from thermals make these vehicles less frustrating to play, with the added bonus making berm drills a viable tactic. Moving on, Gaijin surprisingly gets a lot wrong.
So far, Gaijin at 1. They fixed one issue. That's the next issue.
With ammunition. You'd think they would have it down pat by this point. First, APHE. Everyone knows how incredibly effective it is in-game. Even when heat or APDS shells are available, I'll still use APHE. You don't get as much penetration, but it almost always one-shots. That is more than worth the trade. In War Thunder, it functions like so. It penetrates, goes a short distance, then explodes, sending shrapnel flying everywhere in the tank's interior. The shrapnel flies out in more or less a perfect sphere, meaning that very
This was big drama. This was big drama just a couple months ago, no? Where the community voted. Gaijin asked, do you want us to make the spalling to be more conical? Or do you want it to keeping us like a perfect sphere? And people wanted it to stay a sphere. A sphere. A sphere.
little aiming is required most of the time. In reality, it's very different. When the shell explodes, the shrapnel flies out in a cone, not a sphere, meaning that the damage is a bit more localized. I seem to recall that in a study. Between Solid Shot and the APHE, there is...
I can show... Let me show what I mean. Dude, this is big drama. So this is how it is right now. Shell goes in. This is armor, right? Shell goes in. Right, let me draw better. This is armor plates. 2 armor plates. Shell goes in. Ping, 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 ping. And it blows up air. Boom. And then it radiates in a circle like this. Outwards. Right? What's Gaijin? What's realistic? What's accurate to real life and how it is in real life? It goes ping, 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 ping. It goes boom. And then it shoots more like this. It shoots out a cone like this. Gaijin put up should maybe a little bit his head maybe? No, I can't. Can I? That's me. Gaijin put up a poll about this, and we wanted this, it turns out. We wanted this, it turns out. And everyone got pissed mad about adding this. Everyone was mad as fuck about this. This is not from Gaijin. This is on the War Thunder community. Especially a lot of content creators complain about it.
Very little difference. The damage was very similar. I don't think that would be good for the game, since it would make APHE mostly redundant, but APHE's damage should be scaled back a bit. Funnily enough, some APHE does behave correctly in War Thunder. APHE on Swedish vehicles mostly explodes out in a cone. Some shrapnel still flies back, but the effect is pretty noticeable. It seems like Gaijin did it as a trial run, then just never pursued it. I have no clue why, because it feels perfect in my opinion. And speaking of overperforming ammo, after the overpressure mechanic, high explosive is way too strong. Basically, no matter how big the shell is, if you manage to penetrate a tank with high explosive, it will kill the entire crew, even if there's a ton of space between them. The issue is that when they hit the plate, they spend a lot of energy getting through that plate in the first place, even if it is relatively thin, so the damage is a bit more localized than you might expect. Obviously KB2 should be one-shotting, but a Sergeant York shouldn't. On the opposite side of the spectrum, there's APCR, which doesn't do nearly enough damage. And War Thunder does practically no spall damage whatsoever, so barely anyone bothers taking it. If you can't penetrate a tank frontally, you're better off disabling and flanking. In the real world, it did as much damage as regular AP.
This is the same still. APCR is actually unusable. It's so bad.
Damage is more a function of mass and velocity, but in game, each shell type has its own damage preset. APCR used to do more damage, and it also didn't have horrible slope modifiers. The problem was the APCR was too meta, but instead of taking a more cautious route, like limiting how much you could take, Gaijin gave it the classic double nerf, wrecking both the damage and angle performance. Next up, there's fuel explosions. These
So far, we are Gaijin fixed the smoke, engine smoke. Gaijin did not fix the APHE damage. That's because people didn't want it and they put up hull. So that's 2 wins for Gaijin. Gaijin has not fixed APCR. It's still absolutely worthless. So 2-1. 2 wins, 1 loss. Let's see.
Nerf,
What's the next
wrecking
one?
both the damage and angle performance. Next up, there's fuel explosions. These have become extremely deadly recently. Most fuel tanks behave like ammo racks, at least on Russian tanks. Fuel explosions are a serious hazard for vehicles, but the vast majority of the time, they're not going to instantly destroy it. Fuel explosions are a rapid conflagration, better known as a fireball, not very similar to a grenade or bomb. If Gaijin did maul them accurately, the crew would receive a fair amount of burn damage. They would also have to fight the fire quickly, otherwise the fire would overtake the vehicle. And finally, traction.
I think that fixed this, right? You don't really die from fuel explosions anymore. Right? We can see. This guy has fuel tank in the front. Let me see. I'm pretty sure they fixed this. I haven't noticed a lot of fuel explosions anymore. Yeah, you can still die from it, but it's not like it doesn't act like a. The fuel doesn't act like a ammo rack anymore.
Target destroyed.
Maybe not. Maybe I'm just completely wrong. That would rather play a fuel explosion? Question mark. Let's try one more. Let's try a couple more. Let's make sure it was not. It was not unlucky.
Target destroyed.
Maybe they haven't fixed it. Maybe it hasn't been fixed, guys. I'll do 2 more. Yeah, this one doesn't have ammo in the fuel either. It's just fuel.
Target destroyed.
Wow, it actually does just act straight up like a fuel, like a. Interesting. How they fix this? So isn't Russian tank like diesel too? Should it even blow?
Target destroyed.
Yeah, it's cooked. I'm on their ult for Gaijin. Gaijin's 2-2 wet now. Yeah, diesel. You can't even light diesel on fire. If you have a cap of diesel, you can't burn it with like a lighter. It doesn't burn. You have to compress it in an engine.
Target
5 out of
destroyed.
5. I guess it's wasn't cooked.
Everyone already knows about this, but it's so annoying that I'm going to talk about it anyway. Tanks were
He's talking about traction now.
They would also have to fight the fire quickly, otherwise the fire would overtake the vehicle. And finally, traction. Everyone already knows.
I already know this is not the fix. Traction is still really bad. The way traction works in game right now, there is no actual traction. When you go up slope, you just lose engine power. You just lose engine power. So your tracks stop spinning and producing power.
About this, but it's so annoying that I'm going to talk about it anyway. Tanks were developed because they offered two main things: low ground pressure and more traction. Tanks are known for tackling rough terrain, so when a tank in War Thunder can't climb a slight hill, there is a serious problem. As far as I can tell, every tank in US service can climb 60% slope. Here's an idea of what that looks like. Instead of simply blocking off exploitable map areas, now every tank has to suffer. Anyway, that's all there is to it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and
That's not been fixed. That's not been fixed. So, Gaijin fixed the engine smoke. It did not fix APHE, but that's because people didn't want to do a fix. They did not fix APCR. They did not fix fuel tight explosion. And they did not fix traction. It's a pretty bad track record. If anything, it got worse, very possible. Yeah, that's horrible. I don't know how they would fix this.
I'll see you on the next one.
Correction, Swedish APHE does not explode out in a cone, naval APHE and Swedish HE shells do. Ah. Well. Did I mention Hash still doesn't do shit? No. I did not. I thought XD Gamer? It's kinda cooked. It's kinda cooked. It's kinda cooked. Say bye bye YouTube. Bye bye YouTube. Bye bye YouTube.
Wow, it's very nice.
Bye bye YouTube. Bye 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 bye. You were follow.